What's up, Yakari here with another Warframe video. This time I want to talk about everything you need to know about Arcanes after the Arcane rework is perhaps a bit strong word, but they've redone all the UI around Arcanes and how you equip them, right? So I already did a video where I showed off the new UI and just pretty much just was showing it off, not actually explaining anything. I thought it might be nifty to actually talk about Arcanes a bit and how this works, right? Especially because they did another hotfix today where they changed some of the UI, mostly this little layout down here. So Arcanes have up to, 4 ranks. Rank 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? And when you combine Arcanes, used to be in the past, you could add more and more Arcanes to an item to increase the rank, right? Because it went on cosmetics. Now, if you upgrade Arcanes, the upgrade is permanent and can't be undone. You also can't combine a rank 2 Arcane and a rank 3 Arcane, right? And there's no way to upgrade them. So if you make a rank, if you make 2 rank 1 Arcanes, right? You're stuck with 2 rank 1 Arcanes. You need free unranked Arcanes, and you can spend those to upgrade one of the 2 Arcanes you've made. So I've got Arcane Eruption here, which I think incidentally is the worst Arcane in the game. And I can click upgrade to next rank and then confirm, right? Down here to upgrade it. And this will upgrade it to rank 1. And boom, it's done, it's upgraded forever, okay? And so just be careful when you're upgrading your Arcane items. Usually there's not too much of a reason to not upgrade them, but you wouldn't want to, upgrade them in kind of some haphazard way and then be stuck with like 2 lower rank Arcanes when you could have completed one perhaps all the way to rank 3. Now, another thing is that Arcanes have rarities like mods now, which means this Arcane Energize here costs 1 million platinum to trade to, or platinum, I'm gonna leave that in, 1 million credits to trade to another player. So 1 million credits to trade to another player, it's all based off the mod rarity, so this is a legendary mod, these are gold mods, silver mods, bronze mods, right? And these rarities roughly correspond to their drop chance from the Eidolons, with Arcane Energize being a very rare drop from the Hydralist, so it is much harder to get your hands on, and thus a more expensive to trade mod, or Arcane, sorry. Okay, so what else do we need to cover here? Let's talk about how Arcane Stack, and then I'll go on to the UI on Warframes, right? Now, how Arcane Stack is both in their chance to occur and their bonus, but not in their duration. So, let's say you have Arcane Precision here, right? It's a 20% chance on headshot for 30% bonus damage to your pistols for 2 seconds. So if I equipped 2 of these, and you can't equip 2 of the same Arcane to a Warframe, then I would get a 20% chance, and I believe it's stacked kind of multiplicatively. So if you shoot someone in the head, there's a chance separately for each of these mods. There's a 20% chance for 30 damage, and there's another 20% chance for 30 damage. And one of them could proc separately, or they could both proc, giving me a total of 60% bonus damage, right? Which means the maximum rank, you have a pretty good chance of getting both of these Arcanes procced up at the same time, giving you 240% bonus damage in total. And it means that your effective chance to hit is extremely high. It's not actually like, I can't really do it in my head because probability math for actually 2 separate events is kind of irritating. I'm too dumb to do it without a calculator. But anyway, very good odds. Let's put it that way, right? So let's go to the other screen here, the mod screen, and see how they work. What I've got set up on Mesa. Okay, so this is the place where you equip Arcanes now, right? Here on the mod screen. And these are saved through different configurations. So we go to configuration B, no Arcanes. Back to configuration A, Arcanes. Arcanes work just like mods, meaning that if you go to a different Warframe and try and equip Arcane Velocity, and you've only got one and it's equipped on Mesa, you can do that just fine, right? Because it'll just automatically switch. Another way to think of it would be that since you can only have one Warframe out at a time, you'll never have a situation where you're actually double dipping in your use of Arcanes, right? Like if I change from Mesa to Rhino, now I'm using the Arcane on Rhino, but I'm not using it on Mesa, right? So I never get to use 2 copies of the same Arcane at the same time anyway. The other thing is that you cannot use 2 copies of the same Arcane, right? So if I wanted to equip another Arcane Velocity instead of Arcane Awakening, which believe I would like to do. Yeah, I don't have a second Arcane Velocity, so that would be good for me to do, but I can't because I only have one. And so if I try and equip Arcane Velocity here, so you can try and do it, right? So I try and equip Arcane Velocity, selected Arcane is already equipped on another Arcane slot. So that just refers to trying to equip 2 of the exact same Arcane, right? I only have the one of them. If I had a second one, then I could equip it and I could have Arcane Velocity and Arcane Velocity. In fact, let's switch over to one of my other loadouts, right? My Eidolon Hunting Chroma. And take a look at the Arcane setup on him, right? Oh wait, this is, I upgraded my Arcane Nullifier, crap, so this isn't a good example. Let's go to the configuration C here and equip some Arcanes. Okay, so if I want to equip, let's see, Arcane Victory is health regen. This is actually pretty good for Chroma, so let's say I equip an unranked one and another unranked one, right? So these stack, right? Now I have a 2% chance on headshot to gain 0.5% of health regen per second for 2 seconds. And that's 2 separate chances, right? So I can potentially, on one headshot, proc this twice, right? And gain a 1% health regen per second. It's pretty unlikely, right? But there's a less than 2% chance of that happening, yeah. Yeah, it can happen. And that's how Arcanes work. Now, for operators and Zaws and amps, I don't own any Arcanes yet. However, they have a similar system, right? Now you don't equip them on cosmetics. There's like an actual equip Arcane button. I showed this off in my other video, but let's run down to the operator room really quick here. I'm actually running. And take a look at this. Anyway, so if you go to customize Tenno, right, you can go down and where is it? I don't think it's actually a very good like place for it. There, look, I can install an Arcane on my amp. And somewhere I can install an Arcane on my Tenno, Arcane 1 and Arcane 2 on your transference suit, right? So you have 2 Arcanes on your actual operator, and you can have 1 Arcane on your amp. And Zaws, of course, work exactly like the mod loadout screen, right? So if we go back here, again, I don't have one, but if you hit upgrade on the Zaw, you should see a little slot right here, just like this. And you can only equip 1 Arcane on a Zaw, you can't equip 2. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything in Arcanes. I had some comments I didn't really expect on the video, but I think this covers everything. Someone asked me if Arcanes are good in general. I think the answer to that would be a strong yes, right? Like if we go back to my Mesa build I had, and take a look at just some of the stuff you can do there. Mesa, with Arcane Velocity. So Arcane Velocity is on critical hit. Eventually you can get 60% chance on critical hit for 80% fire rate. This works with Mesa's ultimate. It's extremely good. And I could potentially have 2 of these, right? And at a 60% chance, with how fast you're going to be shooting on her ultimate, which, you know, the mana or energy cost does not scale up with attack speed, you're gonna get this up constantly, right? It never falls off. Even at the 15% for 1.5 seconds, it basically is always on. Once I have it upgraded, it's gonna be on all the time. If I equipped 2 of these, I would get 160% bonus fire rate, just constantly, right? That's an insane buff. Since you don't have to actually reload in her ultimate, essentially this more than doubles the damage of Mesa's ultimate. That's pretty good. And this is not that bad on a lot of pistols either, although you might want to, I don't know, invest in some reload speed if you did that for some reason. But I mean, there, excuse me, there are some other great things here. Like, where's the, this is the pistol damage one, right? Yeah, up to 100% bonus damage on reload for pistols, right? So you can do some funny stuff with Arcanes now if you want to work them into your builds. Of course, they're still a little expensive to actually like buy fully ranked up Arcanes, but so far I have not bought Arcanes from anyone. I've just been farming like semi-casually, do 1 or 2 rounds of night Eidolon hunting most days, but not every day since they added the drops. And yeah, I just got some decent Arcanes, right? And so you can just go do that too. And if you get something like this, for example, you could play Toxic Chroma, or better yet, Haro, and those guys both get reload speed, right? So you get some reload speed, you get some good pistols like the Twin Gricadas, and you mix like Arcane Awakening and Arcane Velocity, right? And so you're just you blow through your clip really fast, you reload. Pretty good odds you're going to get 100% damage bonus. It lasts 16 seconds, so if you reload 3 or 4 times in 16 seconds, you'll get this stuff like all the time when you're at rank 3. So Arcanes are extremely powerful, and this is not even like really one of the best ones. Like Arcane Energize is pretty highly rated in terms of Arcanes. It's one of the most in-demand ones, and it basically results in additional energy when you pick up energy orbs, making energy orb pickups more valuable, especially since it replenishes it to nearby allies. If you have a squad where you have multiple people with these, you can get a lot of free energy and help reduce or negate the need for Warframes like Trinity or the use of energy pizzas, which is extremely useful. And there's like, what is it, Arcane Victory, right? That I mentioned earlier for Chroma. Where are you, Arcane Victory? Let's just, oh, here it is. On headshot chance for health regeneration. Well, once you get to rank 3, 8% chance of health regeneration for 8 seconds. That's actually pretty good for a lot of Warframes that don't have like an easy way to restore their health, right? Because health restore is kind of hard to get in Warframe, and being able to do it by just like aiming at enemies' heads and spraying through a crowd of enemies, even only 8% chance if you're firing a rapid fire weapon and you actually aim for headshots, it lasts 8 seconds, you can keep this up pretty close to constantly, right? And that's a lot of extra durability you're going to get on any Warframe that has some kind of damage reduction, either from armor or from a damage reduction ability, like in our Necros's Shield of Shadows if you get that augment, right? Or Mirage's Eclipse when she's in the shadows. Or Mesa's Shatter Shield? Shatter Shield, that's what it's called. Ability. So there's a lot of different neat arcanes, right? Boosting the damage for particular weapon types, giving you defensive boosts, giving you utility boosts. Like one of them is parkour speed, which is on headshot. Parkour velocity, which is like not powerful, but certainly fun, right? And resistances can be very good. In particular, Arcane Nullifier. Hold on, let's go up here. Null. All right, so I've just got one that's ranked up. So Arcane Nullifier, if you use a rank 3 combined with an unranked, or a rank 1 and a rank 2 of these, right? The chance to resist a magnetic proc actually stacks additively, giving you a 100% chance to resist a magnetic proc, right? So for any of the resistances, you can make yourself immune to magnetic procs for fighting Eidolons. You can make yourself immune to toxic procs for fighting infested as a low HP frame. And you can make yourself immune to, I think there's a slash proc one? Is that true? I'm not 100% sure. I don't have it yet, so I could be wrong. But Toxin and Magnetic are two really great ones, and I sometimes like to just run a cold resist one on random Warframes because I hate cold procs if I expect to run into them, right? If they're a hazard somewhere I'm going. But anyway, so there's a lot of nifty utility you can get from Arcanes and a lot of downright OP combos like Arcane Velocity with Mesa. That you can do with these. So I would encourage you to go out, hunt some Eidolons, have some fun with these. Probably don't blow 1,000 plat on like a maxed Arcane Energize unless you just have that laying around. But yeah, they're very useful, and now using them is not a huge pain in the ass. So I highly recommend it. Not to mention, getting them as a free player is no longer so unrealistic as it was in the past. Especially as their prices are also tanking. So in general, that's pretty nice. All right, that's all for now. Yakri out.